Well, if your refrigerator's ice maker is not keeping up with demand, I'm going to tell you a few things that you can do before you call a repairman and find yourself with some pretty big bills. Well, this is a Frigidaire refrigerator. The ice maker is up here in the fridge section. And first, you got to verify you are getting water to the unit. We'll go over kind of some of the dumb things you got to make sure you've checked off. So let's check it out. Water. All right, so we got water. Also, this is making a little bit of ice. The ice maker is currently producing ice, just not enough to meet demand. So the second thing you got to check, and I hate to be the one to actually have to recommend this, is have you been changing that water filter? Well, as much as I hate to say it, if you don't change that water filter, it slows down the rate of water that can flow through the refrigerator. Maybe that's why you're not getting enough ice. These stupid things are like $40 a pop, and it wants you to change it every 6 months or so, but that may be something that you need to check. I hadn't changed it in a few years. That's part of the reason we were getting very little ice. The other thing you got to check before you call somebody, make sure your ice maker is on. So for example, on this one, it has settings here, this little touch panel, which you probably can't see because it's hard to see as it is, but I just have an on-off ice maker. It is currently on, and I know it is making a little bit of ice. Also, you can check yours, see if it has an extra ice feature. If you have an extra ice feature, you can turn that on. Maybe that'll help meet the demand. None of these things have worked for us so far. Change the water filter. We're still running out of ice, usually by mid-morning with a family of 5. It is the South. It is hot. It is the summer. But there's another thing that you can do if you want to get more ice out of your refrigerator, and that is you can install the ice maker that also goes in the freezer. So that's what I'm going to do today. Ultimately, I decided this was about $100. I can buy a second ice maker that goes in the freezer. Let's install this and see if that helps. Really only going to need 2 tools for this job. Now, if you have your manual for your fridge, that'll be helpful. But a 10 millimeter socket wrench. The bolts on there were kind of frozen on there, pun intended. So this was a little bit easier than using something like that. And then regular screwdriver. That's all you're going to need to install the ice maker. Took me about 30 minutes, and that's it. So in order to install the freezer ice maker, you actually have to take the door off. Now, if you're weird like me, and you keep all the manuals of every product that you buy somewhere in a cabinet in your house somewhere, make this a little bit easier. So I'll check the manual. It says we got to turn this thing off. So I got to pull it out, unplug it, and then we got to get this door off, and then we can install the ice maker. All right, to get the drawer off, we've got 4 10 millimeter hex head bolts right here, 2 there, 2 on the other side. We take those off. This thing's going to be heavy, FYI. Pull those off, we'll be able to slide the rest of this out, and then we can install the ice maker. All right, got the freezer door off. 4 bolts on either side, not too bad. May want to get a friend to hold it, and now's a great time to clean your freezer, which you probably haven't cleaned if you're like us, because it's hard to get under there with all that stuff on there. So you give it a good cleaning, and then we are about ready to install our ice maker. All right, first thing they want us to do is attach our ice maker to our bracket. The Frigidaire kit that I bought came with 2 brackets, which the instructions don't mention. All you want to do is find your holes. See the 3 plugs right there? And make sure they line up with the 3 holes on the bracket. So in my case, I got to use the longer one. The short one would be like that. The longer one would be like that. So check your unit. So I want my ice maker back there. Check your unit before you put which bracket, or maybe yours will only come with 1. Hey, that'd be fun. All right, now that we got the actual ice maker mounted on the bracket here, we've got to remove these plugs right here. I've got 3 plugs. Pull those out, and then you're going to use the shoulder screws, which look kind of like that, on the middle and the rear. Okay, once you get those shoulder screws in, you can go ahead and slide your bracket with your ice maker on, and it's just going to sit in there loosely. It's not tied down, it's just sitting in these little slots. All right, next I got to remove this air duct cover, 3 screws there, and that's going to allow us to plug the wiring harness in for the ice maker. All right, duct cover is off. There's where we plug in. So go ahead and plug it in. Once you're plugged in, just go ahead and replace the air duct cover with those 3 screws. All right, at this point we are mostly done. All we got to do is push back, make sure we're fully seated here, and then you've got 1 screw here that's going to fully secure the ice maker. And then we're going to reassemble everything. We've got a piece of trim for the back of the basket to not hit this wiring harness back here, and then we're gonna put the door back on, and hopefully we'll have some ice here shortly. All right, all done here. Got the door back on there, and got our ice maker in there. Make sure that the little hangy thing is down if you want to make some ice. And don't forget, of course, to put the basket in there. Catch all that ice. Let's see. There we go. Maybe I should clean that. Maybe I should clean that before we do that. That'd probably be smart. There you have it. Okay, we'll check in here in a few hours or half a day or so and see if we've got some ice. All right, here we are. We got about 12 hours later. The next morning, let's see how we did. And we got a bunch of ice, so the game has been changed. Now, one thing I wonder is if they have a smaller ice bucket. This one takes up almost half of this top rack, which is a lot of space, and this thing is huge. So if this is full of ice, that's gonna be a lot of ice, which, hey, that's a good problem to have. But let me know what you think in the comments. You need to add in a little extra ice maker. This was not too difficult of a job. Cost about $120 or so. Check around for different prices and see what will work for your fridge.